add my condolences and my thanks to the families that are here today from the DC-8 crash and the Colgate crash. And we appreciate the commitment that you're making to be certain that the skies are safe and that passengers are going to be safe. We want to welcome you. Congratulations, Mr. Bedford. And indeed, I think the children, the babies deserve a treat, as we call it at my house, with the little ones when this is over. You and I talked briefly when we visited about pilot retirement age.
We did.
And this is an issue that comes up repeatedly because people are so frustrated. They go to get on a flight and the crew is timed out. They don't have a flight. Everybody is there, the plane is there, and they end up waiting a couple of hours to get a pilot. Mm-hmm. And I have worked on this issue because I think if we don't take the lead on this, that it is something that is going to leave us with more flights that are stranded. And I know that ICAO is looking at this issue. So I would like for you to talk just a little bit about that issue and how you would approach the pilot retirement age.
So thank you for the question, and thank you for the time in your office, by the way. It was lovely. This was a big issue during the whole FAA reauthorization debate. There was, and can't remember which side of the legislature it was in, the House or the Senate, but we had age 67 in at one point, and it didn't make its way through reconciliation. We had a lot of debate on the merits of it, which are, I think, pretty clear that we have really experienced pilots that still have a lot of gas in the tank, desire to serve, and a lot of mentoring that they can bring to the table for the younger workforce that we're developing for the future. So those that wish to serve, having an arbitrary mandatory retirement age doesn't seem like the right answer to me. But then there's the logistics of the fact that these men and women are actually at the top of the fleet food chain. They're flying in the left seat of the most advanced wide-body aircraft across the planet, and that's great. We have to be sensitive to the fact that the disruption that it would cause if, in fact, they can't operate wide-body airplanes and have to be, deregulated down to a narrow-body jet may prohibit them from even wanting to serve. So ICAO has now somehow become very critical in the process to encourage them to increase global retirement age. We've successfully accomplished that, moving from 60 to 65. I think it's absolutely possible to accomplish that in a reasonable period of time.
Well, thank you for that. Talk for a minute about your record at Republic, because you did transform that airline and you increased the fleet, you increased revenue, and you kept an eye on safety. So I want you to talk about that commitment to safety and how you carried that out in your career.
Well, thank you for the question, and a quick shout out to some of our Republic pilots that are here. Thanks for the support. It was a collaboration, and it wasn't easy, I'll tell you. We didn't get it all right. We made a lot of mistakes as we were building a business, but we were able to recognize the mistakes we made, correct them, and continue to move on. I think that's a culture that we can bring to the FAA. It's okay to try things and fail, again, not jeopardizing safety, but we can innovate. We won't always get it right, but we'll get a lot of it right, and then stuff that we don't, we can fix and continue to innovate. So I think that was, if you think about all the challenges aviation's faced, 2001, obviously, 9/11, and I have to tell you, the incident and the crash at 5342 brought back a lot of PSTD for me, because we have, almost 150 operations a day at Reagan, and for the first 15 minutes when we got our Mir 3 alert, we had no idea whose aircraft that was. It's a heart-sinking feeling to think it could have been one of ours. So by the grace of God, it wasn't. And again, my deepest sympathies to the families that were affected. So I can tell you that culture is a clear indicator of a lean, agile organization that can manage change and work together. I think it starts from having a vision. We have to have a vision for where the organization is going. What hill are we trying to take? And then we can get our entire workforce to go on that journey with us. We can collaborate. It's not just me saying this. I've read a lot about the FAA organization, many reports, many agency reports that talk about the unwieldy organization structure, multiple spans and layers, silos across the organization. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to lean into building a better, agile, more collaborative agency.
Thank you for that. And I recognize Senator Baldwin, and I turn the gavel to Senator Sullivan.
Thank you.